chill whenever.
Hello and welcome. This is Pixel Perfect Marathon 4, and I am your host, Bonnie Dimples. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. Major shout outs to our last host there, Nick, one of the organizers for this event, filling in after some tech issues on my end, so I really do appreciate that. Right now, though, we have our friend Shovelclaws here to give us some pepper grinding action. How spicy is it going to be? Well, let's find out.
Thank you for the introduction. Hello, my name is Shovelclaws. I'm a big indie game fan, and this is one of the best indie games of this year, Pepper Grinder. This game is fantastic. I am also joined by good friend and co-commentator Talia, if you'd like to say hi.
Hello. This one is definitely going to be spicy, I'm telling you.
It's so good. It is one of my favorite runs I've learned as of recent, and I do a lot of those. So when it stands at the top, that's when it's a good time. But quick little story introduction. There's this really cute cutscene that never gets shown off during speedrun, so I like showing it off. But we play as Pepper, who has just washed ashore in this land of piracy, the dark ages, if you will. And she is a bounty hunter and solo pirate. Unfortunately, she has crashed, and the Gnarlings, this evil horde of goblin-looking guys with the weird little horns, don't like them, have stolen our treasure, and we're not going to stand for that, so we have to get it back. So that's our mission, just get back our treasure. You'll see there Mint, who is kind of the battle commander of the Gnarlings, will lead them in battle, and we'll face off against her one or two times. But we need a weapon to do that with, and you'll see right under this bridge that we unfortunately fall all the way into, we pick up Grinder, which is a high-powered drill that allows us a whole host of movement options. That's where this game gets really, really fun. And
Did the timer supposed to start? I'm so sorry.
No.
Okay.
Time will begin after we go back into the file, but that cutscene is just for some show. But
okay,
if we're
minor
ready,
panic attack there.
No, you're fine. Usually we start the timer on file creation, and that cutscene is immediately after we begin our file.
Okay.
So, speaking of time, we can go ahead and get started. We will start now.
Right.
So, this game, wow, Fall Guys already. That's fine. That jump is number one run killer, unfortunately. But this game has us wield Pepper, our Pepper wielding Grinder. And Grinder, you'll see already, allows us a huge host of movement options. We can rev it up to kill these little enemies that we run into during this level. We can also grind through dirt, and when we're grinding through dirt, we can dash out of it, and that allows us to, as you can tell, kind of dolphin dive around the stage. This movement is super satisfying. It's kind of like if, apparently this isn't a universal experience, which I'm kind of saddened by, but if you've ever played those Flash games where you're like a sandworm and you're just like killing and destroying things, it's kind of like that, but like an actual platformer, not just a like idle game. Some hard jumps here where we have to jump under the gap pretty tight, and otherwise this movement set is about as simple as it seems, but there's a lot of depth to it. Quick little quick kill on that nest there by hitting the roof when we dash up, and hitting it twice with our engine rev. You can press down the trigger to rev up the engine, and that can allow us to hit things multiple times through the air. You'll see that a few times throughout the run. And next, we're going to get into Wellspring Canyon, where we're going to run into the first instance of the major glitch of the run, if Talia, you'd like to explain how this works.
Yeah, so you may have seen Shovel do it earlier, but if you're in the air and when you're in the air, you can drill downwards to kind of get like a fast fall in a way, but if you drill downwards next to a wall, you can actually get an extra jump off the wall. We call that a wall bounce. But if you do another jump in a very specific timing window after the wall bounce, you can get into this weird state where you actually have infinite jumps and you can just fly over any stage. We call this the Mary Poppins glitch. You know, it's kind of you flying through the air, the drill. It kind of looks like an umbrella. It's cute. I like the name.
Yeah, most of us call it Poppin, since Mary Poppins glitch is kind of a long name, and Poppin rolls off the tongue a little bit nicer. Poppin is probably what makes this game as broken as it is. As you can imagine, having infinite jumps kind of useful. It is, in that level, we use it to cut out probably a good half of the stage. You're supposed to have this long drop down and then go climb back up. It's really annoying. It's, very nice, though. We're getting into 1-3, which is probably the most technical stage in the game. Oh, I totally hit that skip, and then I thought I didn't. You can, drill through that little puzzle panel if you... I robbed myself, but let's be real. I did definitely just turn the analog stick back. But you have these little puzzle panels that you're supposed to drill out of the dirt to get through, but we're going to use pops and the occasional just simple wall bounce there in order to get around them. And that first room, we can drill through it if we have the right angle and speed, but it's pretty precise. I'm going to pop back up here as a backup there for that first of many skull coins. Skull coins we're going to grab throughout the run. We're going to grab tin, and those tin will allow us about a minute time save later on. It's a special tool that'll help later. But this level has like a trick in every single screen here, and so it's a really tough one. Speaking of being tough, you want to conserve as much health as possible so you can damage boost throughout the stage, or at the end of the stage here. This screen and this next screen will have you take damage to get through them quickly, but unfortunately I took a few extra hits of damage, so I had to just quickly die to reset my health, which is not a big deal, but that's okay.
Yeah, health management.
Why I took a death.
Yeah, health management becomes a pretty important part in some of the later levels too. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, now we're into the hardest boss in the entire game. This one has a really tight 2-cycle that is nearly impossible to hit. And that's a flagpole. Wait, oh, okay, stage cleared.
First try.
Easy. That 2-cycle, more like 0-cycle. Get owned.
So yeah, with the Mary Poppins glitch, or just Poppin, you can skip over, I think, you can entirely skip 2 of the bosses in the game, and you can cheese one of them. So it really helps in that department. Definitely see more of that later.
I mean, you don't even really need Poppin to skip the second one, but we'll get there when we get there. This is now World 2, where Magma works. This entire world is really cycle heavy. You'll see these moving platforms. They're on global cycles. Now we're getting into these little flamethrower guys that will try to hurt us. As Natalia mentioned, health management is really important here, because if you take too much damage, you'll both get on a terrible cycle, just miserable. That one was perfect, actually, so I'm happy. But you'll also end up dying, probably, because those guys can just sneak up on you. Little pop on the lava fall there, and now coin right down here. Actually, just faster to get. You move faster than moving out of dirt than you do in dirt, so you'll see a lot of times we try to optimize as much as possible getting out of dirt. And then cute little movement string at the end there to finish it up. Poison Ridge introduces grappling hooks. Talia, you want to explain how these work? They're a little bit janky, but...
Yeah, so basically these are grappling hooks that you can swing around and you can release to kind of get a massive speed boost. The thing is that when you actually enter the grapple, you get a tiny speed boost in itself, and it kind of goes away eventually. So what Shovel is going to try to do is enter and exit really fast. And actually, you can see Shovel trying to re-grab some of them. Just kind of hit the same grapple twice. That does give you a little bit more speed, and it looks really cool. Oh,
yeah, re-hooks are so fun.
That skip is super tight. Sometimes you move so fast with grapple that it's so hard to time, like, when you're actually going to jump out of it. So this is super impressive.
Yeah, I have a cute little visual for when I do that, but that grapple, like, under the dirt to skip, like, a little turnaround is a lot harder than it may seem. And then there I don't do a rehook. You'll see there I do a rehook, but sometimes it's better to not rehook to get a better angle and better speed to manage through certain areas. That was so clean, such a clean jump there. And then I'm gonna bonk this wall to hit that coin, make sure we get it for the marathon here. I don't want to get a backup coin, that'd be embarrassing. That one you're supposed to get while falling all the way down there. It's so hard. And then Talia, you can take it away on Giant's Kitchen. I'm gonna go focus here.
Okay, so this is the first of a couple gun levels where you can pick up this gun that kind of shoots all these bullets. But what Shovel's gonna do here is try to maintain the Mary Poppins glitch throughout, like, the first half-ish or so of this level, which is really hard because anytime you touch the ground, you will lose it. As you can see there, Shovel's gonna have to try to do it again. And also picking up the gun while in Mary Poppins state is really precise. That's fairly clean. Only one mishap there.
Hitting the ground on that specific section that I did is actually super common because it's such a tight little corridor to get down. It is really precise. I like tried to slow down there and everything, but it's always just like if you're in a bad position, then you're kind of just completely screwed. But shout out to the pumpkin you can carve a little jack-o'-lantern there. It's really cute and gives you a coin, but the nice thing about this game, the really fun thing about this game, is that there are so many possibilities with routing that you'll see 2 different runs get completely different coin routes, because a lot of them very fast. And then here, we're just going to use Pop to destroy all those nests. As I said at the beginning of the run, if we just are in the hitbox of a nest and then just constantly press the rev up, then we can very quickly kill them. Now into Rotoburr Pits. This stage has a pretty rough global cycle, and we're trying to do a trick at the beginning there to make it a bit easier on ourselves. Talia, if you'd like to explain how double jumping works, it's so funny.
Okay, so if you didn't know, in most 2D games there's this mechanic called coyote jumps. It's kind of named after the whole concept of Wile E. Coyote kind of walking off of a platform and hanging it out in the air for a little bit before realizing they're about to fall and then falling to their doom. So basically, the game tries to give you a couple extra frames after you walk off of a platform to kind of give you a more generous window to jump so it doesn't feel like your jump gets eaten all the time. But also, with this game, there's a lot of kind of jank with it. If you just do a normal jump off of a platform without being in Coyote time, it does still put you into Coyote frame. So if you do a second jump really precisely while releasing the first jump, you could actually get a double jump. And that's really useful in here, especially. Oh,
I got
that was a scam, honestly.
This enemy is very annoying. I want to like do it and not do the enemy. I'm just gonna die. I'm on 1 health. I can't do the ending on 1 health.
This is not nice to you today. Nice.
Yeah, it's a rhythm, and my rhythm is terrible, so it's always kind of a hit or miss if I get it or not. I tried practicing those earlier, it got them every time, but what do you know, after like 10 minutes in a run, it throws your rhythm off, but that's okay. Double jumps are really cool, because there's a lot of unique ways you can optimize things using them, but if it's kind of that like skill ceiling where the more double jumps you use, because those are frame perfect. That wasn't mentioned. It's like very frame precise. But this is Magma Worm. I want to do this without popping, because I think it's super funny that you can just get up here without even using the infinite jump glitch. Like, you can just get up there by diving out of the dirt, and then right behind it is another flagpole to finish the boss early. We are going the pacifist route. And now we're into World 3. This world introduces these little cannons. These cannons will, well, shoot you up, but we can use them in a lot of unique ways to better redirect our momentum. We'll see coming up here. Well, the first one, this one's in ice, but if we drill Crusher right beside it, the hitbox is just barely big enough. And then that one we purposefully immediately let go in order to better have an angle to progress forward. Very fun. I love this level.
So I don't think you don't have any control after, like, in the flying state after you get out of the cannon, right?
You have very little. It's mostly like go forward, but in stuff like this where you're going up, after a while gravity will take hold and then you can fall down, and you have control when you're falling, but otherwise not really. No.
Yeah. So it's really important to get that perfect angle on these cannons.
Yeah. So a little secret here: we've been on a global cycle this entire time, and of course. This cannon... Oh, and I hit the top block? That's unlucky. This cannon moves on a global cycle, and I'm just gonna do the pop here, because this cycle sucks. From the start of the stage to the very end, if you're not moving cleanly, then you'll end up suffering. But thankfully, we have this pop as a backup. If we're on a bad cycle, we can just pop up, go through some of the stage, and then up. It's kind of weird, it looks like you're just jumping over things, but the stage turns upwards, and then you start ascending. And then here, so if you've been paying attention, you'll notice I got an extra little animation there. That's actually something you can cancel on demand, and if you hold down the trigger to rev up your drill when you're landing in, you'll actually cancel the animation, but I'm purposely not doing it here, because if you do that in this stage, it bugs out the music for this first little snowmobile ride, and this song is one of the best songs in the entire game, so I wanted to be heard.
Heck yeah.
I'll take a few second time loss for banger tunes. It's a sacrifice worth making, I think. But this is Brittle Glacier. If Talia, you'd like to talk about this level some, it's pretty hard too, so I'm gonna try to focus.
Yeah, so this is the first level of World 3, which is kind of the snow ice world. It introduces these blocks that are drillable blocks, but they disappear behind you. So any mistake here can be pretty costly. Well, this looks pretty clean so far.
It's really the
and Shovel.
Really scary.
Yeah. You might have seen earlier that Shovel skipped activating platforms by jumping under one. That was pretty cool.
The puzzle panels in this stage are really fun, because there are a lot of really nice solutions we use to get them fast. And then the snowmobile here actually has a death warp we're going to do at the end of this section. We're gonna take it over this cliff, and we're supposed to dive to a grappling hook, but the game just sets our respawn immediately, so we're gonna just drill crush right down. Now, this part is the hard part. I'm gonna focus up.
Alright. So... yeah, as you can see, Shovel's gonna be flying through all these bombs, and these bombs are super brutal. If you just, like, graze past any of them, you instantly take a hit. But,
Man,
wow, that was super clean.
Yeah, this level is infamous for having a really rough time attack medal. This game has in-game time attacks, you can see here. The gold is 158. We had a 150. The gold is bugged in the first patch. We down-patched this game because Mary Poppins, it doesn't work on current patch. And so, you know, just a casual gold medal when most people can,
Nice.
you know.
that was a clean jump. If you haven't seen this already before, you can water boost on water, which kind of just lets you build up speed and just kind of jump across. And you can actually get enough height from that to just clear the big glacier over there. I love those.
Yeah, those jumps are so fun. Like, on release day, every single person that played this game was like, yo, water skipping is the coolest thing ever, and we're all like, we know! It's so cool!
Yeah, I did
it really
this.
is, like, so good. I mean, yeah, you did do this, but I wasn't gonna call you out. But yeah, everyone was like, is this known? And it's so funny. There are two pops in the stage. The first one is to just get over a little underwater section that is honestly one of my favorite parts of the entire game, so I'm a little sad we skip it. And then this one to skip up to the top here, because the flag will rest upon this little cliff. And
The water levels in this game. Yeah, the water levels in this game are actually fun.
Yeah, the water levels usually not bangers. Those two are bangers. And then Breaker Pass is unfortunately kind of where things in World 3 at least slowed down a little bit, because Breaker Pass is a lot of popping. This stage has these little rocket nozzles that we charge up and blast at these ice cubes, and they're kind of these puzzles where you're meant to figure out how to get by, but they're all really slow, and often can just straight up lead to deaths if you're not careful. Yeah, wanted to get a better angle on that. It's fine. But yeah, we pop over most of it. Additionally, there are these little tanks that you saw there. We can boost over them, or we can grapple on them to get a little boost. Say hello to our friends. No Brain, and goodbye forever. We are supposed to see him earlier, but you know we don't. We skip him.
You're just like me for real.
I definitely thought when I was playing this game casually that the game would make us kill him, because this game is surprisingly violent. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's up with that, but nope, he's a friend. Okay, if I die here, I'm like going back to the giant, I think. Aw, I shouldn't have gone for the jump. That was greedy. That's okay though. We get to see more friend. Thankfully, he has a checkpoint in his skull, so you know, very convenient.
Really convenient.
To put it up there. He might need to clean out his ears. I feel like having a checkpoint in your ears, little bit. Oh, what? I hit the snow. Little bit weird, but there we go. Okay, as intended, no flaws whatsoever.
I don't know. What if it's normal to have a checkpoint inside of your head?
I mean, I guess I haven't checked inside my head. That's fair, actually. Maybe it is. And then he's supposed to help us up to this cliff here for the goal, but we can just jump off. It again just sets our checkpoint after we touch his hand. We find the meaning of life, and we find love, and then abandon him immediately to get revenge. But this really is just like a thriller movie. Never thought about this before.
Alright, so Shovel's gonna be heading in. Oh, you can go.
That's fine. You can go ahead. I'm okay with staying silent and focusing during this level. Actually, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, so this is the third boss. It's just gonna be Mint, and this is the only boss that you can't skip or cheese using Mary Poppins. It's basically useless, so Shovel's gonna need to lock in to get a clean boss kill here. Also, Mint is the one with red hair, not the one with mint-colored hair. That's Pepper. It doesn't have pepper-colored hair either. Don't worry. Don't think about it too hard.
Alright. Thankfully, we get 1 extra health to work with on the first time we play this boss. So that can help us out, but you may see the snow on the ground. We're not going to use any of that. We don't need it. This is the weapon of the enemy. We don't need this. And I got the invincibility bug. Cool. Unlucky.
Yeah, so you're intended to kind of go through the snow to chase Mint as she's jumping up, kind of. But it's actually a bit faster to stay above ground here. And just focus on getting these double hits between attacks, which Shovel's doing a really good job at.
There we go. I had to actually lock in for the 1 health.
Oh my god, that was too close.
Yeah, a little bit. I was definitely greedy on some of those hits. Just taking damage in the face of danger. I do want to show off one thing, so I'm going to go back into this stage because I think it's really funny. So, there is a secret checkpoint, but, you know, the devs were wise enough to put it in a box, and we can't get past that box. So...
Locked away for eternity.
Yeah, unfortunate. And then we're into the last world of the run, World 4. This is the Swamp World, and it's probably my favorite world. I also definitely meant to check how many coins we're at, but I actually think we're so fine.
I think you're chilling.
That good. I don't think I've missed any coins yet, but I could just, like, brain off. Maybe the giant has a bad influence, but, this is Ice Melt Marsh. This is another stage that is meant to go super out of your way to complete. You're supposed to go down from that cliff and then take a huge underwater section, but we're going to choose the pacifist route again and not kill anyone on this ship. It's a really dramatic set piece where you like tear that ship in half. It's so cool, but
it is very violent.
Like I said, this game is surprisingly violent. I don't know why. Dude, I got the boost through the little crack there. Hell yeah. Man, just
Maintaining this water
boost
boost is so satisfying.
It's so nice. But
Alright, so this is where the coins actually come into play. I
Yeah.
believe.
mm-hmm. We're gonna go to the curiosity shop and buy the golden key, and then exit out, and that will unlock the secret path. And Talia, if you'd like to explain the effect of this, so we go to Wishfire Bog.
Alright, so basically every single world has this bonus stage that you can unlock with 10 coins. In every other world, it doesn't really give you any speed advantage, but in this world in particular, this stage is super fast. And it does actually skip going over, it does actually skip playing 2-2. If you beat this level, it actually unlocks the next level. So it saves like a solid minute. But also this level is really cycle based. You know, it's got some pretty cool movement.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite levels in the entire game, just for the theme alone. I think this theme is super unique. You have these little goo cubes that will pull you back if you don't land in dirt when exiting them. You see it kind of like tethers you to it. And then you have the little monsters that are all like very heavily cycle based. You can get a really good cycle usually, but unfortunately I had some hits and that ended up costing me the good cycle. But that's kind of the fun of this game, is adapting to your cycles. That's really fun, in my opinion. The cycles aren't too bad.
That was pretty scary at the beginning, I can't lie. It's really easy to get comboed by the green glowing goo there.
Mm-hmm. And then Terminal Depths, if you'd like to explain what we're doing here, while I try to focus on the stage, that would be very useful.
Oh boy, you're going for this. Okay, so this is another gun level. So, once again, Shovel's gonna try to carry the Mary Poppins glitch for a bit here with the gun, but this time it's actually super, super important because... Oh my god, that was scary. Because right in a moment here, you're gonna... Shovel Claus is gonna get right into this train section, which is a full auto-scroller, and it moves super slow, and you have to kind of hit these enemies that come out of the pipes. It's a little annoying, but you can pop over it with really kind of precise positioning and timing and whatnot. This is really precise. I can't believe you're actually going for this, but Giga Chad.
Yeah, the only reason is because oh my god, I jumped over that dude. That's crazy. Need you to move.
Get owned.
The only
Normally
reason I'm going for this is because the strat we usually do in runs is just popping for a minute, and that's really boring. So I'm opting to spice it up a little bit, actually give you something interesting to look at instead of just this lame background skybox for a minute.
Yeah. Instead of opting out for a free level, Shovel Claus is going to take this way harder route just to be flashy and save, like, what, barely a second?
It saves a second if you do it good. I didn't save a second, but that's okay, because it was cool either way, and I did it without dying, which is nice. I was definitely expecting a death there, to some extent. But we just pop over the last train auto-scroller and straight to the finish. Also, yeah, this music, this stage's music also just is so good. It's just off the rails. And then for tech here, I will turn down my SFX. There's a really loud robot in this stage, so I want to keep it quiet. Turn it down a little bit. I have to repop because I somehow touched the ground, but that's fine, I guess. Oh, okay. That was weird because I had bullets coming at me, and that's... This is strange now. Anyways, this is Deep Rot City. I'm gonna go up, I think, actually. I don't love doing this, and it didn't matter anyways, because I ended up taking damage, so I have to restart the stage. This is Deep Rot City. This is the final actual stage of the run, but this stage has a pretty precise pop towards the center of it. I need to conserve my health going into it in order to do it, and unfortunately I took a little bit of extra damage. I got sniped by a bullet, and then things went downhill from there, but that's okay. We want to conserve a pop for conserve enough health, and I hit the moving platforms to damage boost through this little thorn, and now we're into the robot. This guy actually has movement tech. It's kind of cool. If you hold the neutral on your stick, hold A, and then just mash the trigger, you'll see it animation cancels this little dash attack, and it actually goes significantly faster because of it. So very useful here. Only used here. The only other level this guy shows up is the level we ended up skipping. So
Yeah.
fun. And then the ending here, you get 1 checkpoint and have to work through a ton of obstacles, but we can pop all the way up. Most of the time, this is much safer. We don't end up taking much damage, if any at all. And we can use this to skip this huge auto-scroller. This is supposed to be kind of, if you have played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that one level with the platform that like slows down if it has enemies on it. Yeah, that. So we don't like that. We just skip right past it. And then everyone, dance party, I guess, in the background. I don't know what they're dancing about, but I mean, I guess I don't blame them. This music's pretty banger.
Yeah. Normally, without the pop, this section is like by a good bit the hardest part of the game, especially since you have absolutely no checkpoints between anything.
Mm-hmm. And
thank God we can pop through that.
Final boss. Yeah, no, that's the only reason I don't run any % no poppin'. There's a category without poppin', so if you want to run that or run this, get into it. There's actually a bounty right now. Every run submitted, regardless of quality, will have $10 donated to Trans Lifeline, a wonderful charity being put on by and that event is being put on by Quacksilver. Shout out to one of the moderators for this game. So if you want to pick up this game, this has looked fun. Definitely do it. It's very fun.
Huge shoutouts to Quacksilver.
Yeah. This is Emperor Nero. Time is coming up in about 2 minutes, I would say. Maybe a minute closer to. This is the final boss. He is the Emperor of the Gnarlings, and we got to take him out, get back our treasure. So what we're going to do here is, in this first section, we're going to hit him once and then immediately start playing Beyblades. We're just gonna spin around, and every time we spin, we exit and enter his hitbox again, which is a very fast way of damaging him, and we clean up that phase very nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 more point of damage so I can just reset my health on this next phase, be safe about it. And then has this big transformation into a Giga Emperor Nero. I don't know what we call this guy, but this second phase breaks apart the arena. And we will kind of do the same thing, but time comes up at the end of this section. I'll count us down. Okay. So, hit this guy, hit him a few times in the dirt, and then after about half of his health bar, we end up popping, and then his hitbox is in his crown for some reason, but we can just let it rip, and then get him. And time is in 3, 2, 1. I was super early on the countdown, but right there.
GG.
And that is Pepper Grinder. We fall back into his treasure room, and we thoroughly overthrown the Gnarling Emperor. So, all of them end up going home. It's very funny. But that is Pepper Grinder any %. This run has been so fun to learn, and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, Talia, for joining me on commentary. If you have any shoutouts you'd like to give real fast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'd like to say, once again, this game is super cool. It has a couple kind of skips and glitches here and there, but mostly it's about like having this satisfying movement throughout the levels. It reminds me a lot of Celeste in the way that it's so like movement based, and it's a really cool run. You should learn it.
Absolutely should. I have a live streamed any % tutorial. If you are interested, you can join us over there. End up picking the run up from that. You can join us on speedrun.com, speedrun.com/peppergrinder, all one word, I think. Otherwise, we have a speedrunning Discord. Excuse me, water. We have a speedrunning Discord server. that where you can join, talk about strats. We have a like whole list of individual levels, and they're all like individual threads that you can learn the strats from. Otherwise, honestly, watching World Record is probably decent enough to learn this game. It gets really hard at top level, but it's mostly just optimizing your movement. The big tricks are all fairly straightforward, but if you need any help with that, you can join us on Discord. I will say, I also have this game on SGDQ's backup list, so hopefully we'll get to see it at SGDQ. I'll hold hope out, but who knows. I would personally love to. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to everyone who developed this game. Lots of people had their hand in this amazing little indie game. You can pick this up and probably finish it in like 3 or 4 hours. It's pretty short, but very focused, very solid, very, very nice little game. If you are a fan of indie games, you should definitely pick this one up because it's one of the best ones from this year by far. Otherwise, I think that's it from me. You can find me everywhere as Shovelclaws. I stream 4 days a week on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Shovelclaws/subscribe, smile. Otherwise, everywhere else is Shovelclaws. I don't know, I get up to things on the internet, but I run all sorts of games. If you're into variety speedrunning content, which if you're watching a marathon, you probably are, then you can come hang out on my stream. I love speedrunning, and I love this community, so always happy to show off and hang out with Pixel Perfect. This event rocks. Otherwise, Bonnie, if you want to take us out, would much appreciate that. Thank you for watching, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Shovelclaws. And thank you, Talia.